Netflix has games?
Yeah, let's
Netflix
talk
has
about that. Hit
games!
me.
Included with every Netflix subscription is Netflix games. A handful of games. It's a little bit more than a handful, to be honest. A handful of games are released as individual mobile apps on iOS. Oh, I see. Full catalog of 24 titles is in the Netflix app. There's no ads, no fees, and no in-app purchases. These are meant to serve as a sort of bridge to cross while waiting for the next installment of a running series. They don't want you to cancel your subscription between seasons of Stranger Things, okay? Stranger Things has a couple games based around it. The Queen's Gambit has an upcoming chess game. Okay.
Okay.
Uh,
Well, I mean, it's like a chess thing, right?
Huh?
The Queen's Gambit.
No, I know, but is it just chess? Or like,
Oh, well,
is there more to it? Like, is it...
maybe there's a campaign and like they have voice actors?
That'd be kind of
That'd
cool.
actually be kind of cool. Now
I'd
that
actually be totally down.
Yeah, that's actually a really good
Like
idea.
that's I think that's why I
Maybe
answered
that's what
it
they're doing.
that way. Is like if they do something more than just a generic chess game, it could be really interesting, but we'll see. There's also some decent indie games that reported to mobile, like Into the Breach. I had no idea. That's from the developers of FTL. Moonlighter. They apparently paid $72 million for finished developer Next Games. Netflix says the catalog will grow to 50 titles before the end of the year. And then here's where things get a little interesting, because I have potentially a non-normal take on this. But it says the only problem is less than 1% of their users are playing them. They average 1.7 million daily users.
I mean, that's a lot of people, but yes.
I think this is saying for the games,
Mm-hmm.
but they have 221 million subscribers.
Right. So that's, man, if you had, like, let's say you run a store, you run a supermarket, and you realize that you have an entire department that only 1% of people even like walk into.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
See, I think so, but then it's also like this super weird tertiary thing.
Yeah,
It's like if the supermarket randomly offered go-karts and only 1% of the customers used go-karts and they were pissed.
It's funny you used go-karts as an example, because I was like, where's he going with this? What's he going to come up with that they don't have at a supermarket?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, they have
kind of
got,
hard.
Sears became known for having a photography studio in it.
Yeah.
Like, how random is that?
But
there's McDonald's in half the Walmarts. I mean, the mega corporationception is real at this point. Like, what do they not?
I wonder about that though.
It wouldn't surprise me. We got West Edmonton Mall, Luke. There's literally a water park in a mall in
West
Canada.
Edmonton Mall is actually awesome.
On this timeline.
West Edmonton Mall is fantastic. I haven't been there in a super long time, but I was there for a provincial hockey tournament, and the mall was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, yes, 1% of the users is low, but 1.7 million daily active users for a series of 24 games.
Yeah, I guess that's not that many games.
Is pretty good, I think.
Yeah, that's actually, I mean, unless it's like Bejeweled.
Like, what are you expecting? Like every single person that watches Netflix to want to play the Stranger Things game?
To want to play that particular subset of games.
And play it like through
to
their
sign
app?
in that day.
Yeah.
It's a lot of ducks to align, actually.
Yeah. And it's 1.7 million daily users.
A lot of stars to align, sorry.
See, okay, again, though, I don't know. This is worded kind of oddly. They average 1.7 million daily users, 221 million subscribers, though. Is that saying that Netflix averages 1.7 million daily users, or that the games do? It doesn't like it's worded. I'm really not 100% certain what's going on there. But either way, like 1% of the, I actually don't think there's as much of a crossover as they would think between people that would want to play games on Netflix.
Yeah.
And people like.
So maybe this is just one of those things where an executive was like, yeah, gaming, we got to get a piece of that. I mean, Netflix wouldn't be the first to try that strategy. Turns out gaming's like really tough.
Yeah. Like I don't
really
think that would not be my go-to. Like as a gamer, if I had a Netflix subscription, which I don't think I would bother checking it out. I think this is more of, like you were kind of positioning, like executive decision problem or not a problem. I think it's one of the two.
Or maybe maybe it's not a problem, and what they need to do is double down and have more than 24 games.
That or maybe like the way that they present it to users should be more different, whatever. But I think it's going to be extremely hard to get people to subscribe to Netflix for their games.
Right.
And I think that's the only way that this solves the problem that they're trying to get it to solve.
Right.
because you would have to.
You'd have to be a destination.
Yes.
It's that simple.
And you'd have to want to retain your subscription if there's no content that you wanted to watch for this to actually function. So like, is there enough games? That's another one. Like, how big are these games? Like, if I'm just
Yeah.
going to beat this Stranger Things game in a week, it doesn't tide me between seasons. It's going to have to
Not
hold
at all.
for, what, like a year or 2 years?
And like you look at how much Apple's invested in Apple Arcade. They have way more titles. And even with that, there's only one that, as someone who's not already on the service scrolling this, there's only one that I've gone, oh, that's a killer app.
Yeah.
I should consider Apple Arcade. And that's that, I think it's called Fantasian. I still haven't played it because I don't have Apple Arcade, and I don't want any cloud saves or anything stuck in iCloud. So I'll just wait for it to come to another platform where I can control my save data. But yeah, I mean, even though we talk about the tech industry a lot, I had no idea that Netflix was that this was a major push, at least.
Yeah.
Like I remember hearing rumblings
I'd
about
heard
it.
about it. Yeah. I didn't know it was like out and stuff like that. People keep on saying they have Into the Breach. Yeah. And Into the Breach is a short but very replayable game. I don't think it's going to keep someone interested for 2 years.
Yeah.
Oh my, sorry. I think a lot of people don't like subscriptions for things. There's gaming subscriptions out there. Like how much is let's go with a company that is not actually super positive in the news lately, other than us, Ubisoft subscription.
Wow. So how many more times are you gonna take those pot shots?
Not too many.
Because by all means, come at me, bro. Come at me, bro.
Oh man, Ubisoft just asked me to verify my age to subscribe to continue, and I was sad. Okay, so Ubisoft Plus is $20 a month. Enjoy 100 plus games on PC or select titles across your devices from the cloud, etc. Blah, 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 blah. That's a lot of games from a huge studio. These are very expansive games, etc., etc., etc. It's 19 or $20 a month. How much is Netflix? Netflix subscription cost $20 a month. So you're paying the same amount. I didn't prep this. I didn't know that.
Right.
You're paying the same amount. If you don't have anything to watch right now on Netflix, you have to make that subscription the same value of at least that Uplay Plus thing. Someone's saying Microsoft Game Pass, which we actually know is a really good value. We dog on Microsoft all the time, but Game Pass is like crazy. It's $16 a month. So like, really, man? Like, trying to make it so that it's worth it while having nothing to watch is going to be insanely hard and require probably like multiple studios. Like, this is a big deal thing. I don't think it's really going to tide people over. I don't think anyone's going to want to cancel their Netflix subscription and be like, I want to play that game though. Maybe. I don't think it's going to be too common.